Good evening and thanks for joining us on Nationwide this evening. I am Elizabeth Omori. The federal government says Nigeria is a secular state where the right of every Nigerian to practice their faith freely is guaranteed in line with the Constitution. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated this in an interview with Sky News. Adaobi Obiechina reports.
Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris pointed out that the federal government is facing the security challenges squarely. Idris said that the Nigerian government is equally winning the war with the security agencies going after the bandits.
We have not lost any territory. What we are saying is that, yes, indeed, we have these challenges. We need the world to understand that the diversity and the complexity of the situation is what we want the world to understand. The Nigerian government, Nigerian security forces are hunting them. They are going after them, killing them in numbers. I will say that since May of 2023, Nigerian security forces have eliminated over 13,500 of these terrorists, and about 17,000 of them, have also been arrested and undergoing prosecution.
On alleged religious persecution, the information minister said Nigeria is a country where every Nigerian is at liberty to profess their faith unhindered in line with the Constitution. He solicited the support and understanding of international community to make Nigeria overcome the present situation.
Everyone in Nigeria can practice Islam, can also practice Christianity. And this is what the government is upholding. There is no religion that is favored over the other. It is enshrined in our constitution, and this is what every administration, particularly the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has insisted that this is a multi-faith country guaranteed by our constitution, and we have to continue to guarantee the safety of lives and property of people wherever they are. Any life lost, whether it's a Christian or Muslim, any life lost is too many for our country.
Idris said the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, has opened diplomatic channel with the U.S. government on the matter. In Abuja, Adaobi Obiechina, NTA News.
Talking health, Senate is working on a legislation that proposes earmarking of excise duty on non-alcoholic carbonated or sweetened beverages to the health sector. The bill, which elicited debate for and against its passage, eventually scaled second reading. The bill seeks challenging part of existing revenue from sugar-sweetened beverages to fund infrastructure and initiatives in the preventive and primary health care.
Their profit should be taxed in the way that that money can be harvested and deployed to help, the health sector. It makes sense. It makes sense. But to now create a bill in respect of that, I think is not proper. What we should have done is to come with a motion, to draw the attention of the executive arm of government to make these adjustments.
Meantime, confirmed appointment of Okpeyemi Olukayode as chairman and 4 commissioners for the National Pensions Commission. Now, the quest for gender equity in Nigeria has hit a major milestone with the inauguration of Senator Oluremi Tinubu Gender Center of Excellence at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Koro, in Plateau State. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, while inaugurating the center, described it as another bold step towards bringing gender issues to the front burner and dismantling stereotypes against women. She applauded the institute and the senior executive course for 2023 for setting up the center, noting that its objective aligns with Nigeria's obligations under the National Gender Policy 2006 and the global frameworks to which the nation subscribes.
Recognizing that inclusion must be a shared national agenda. Actual progress will come when both genders stand as allies working together to dismantle stereotypes, open opportunities, and strengthen our collective humanity. To the future scholars, policymakers, and leaders who will pass through this gender center, I say, let it stand as a hub of ideas and actions where innovation blends with empathy and policies are forged with wisdom and compassion. And I pray it will serve as a center of excellence for gender-focused policy research, strategic engagement, and capacity building, nurturing ideas that advance gender awareness, and gender-sensitive policy making in Nigeria, Africa, and the world.
I want to pledge the support of the Plateau State government in working together, not only with the National Institute, but this very center, to actualize the vision of this center. More so because you have placed a name on it that I respect and I love.
It provides a platform for research, training, and dialogue that will help integrate gender perspectives into governance and public policy at all levels. Through this center, NIBS will continue to serve as a catalyst for the inclusive governance, empowering both women and men to drive a meaningful change in Nigeria and across Africa.
Center starter, the First Lady, announced a donation of 250 million naira ahead of other supports. Dr. Bernard Doro has assumed office as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction following his appointment by President Bola Tinubu. Ruth Aguele reports that the minister expressed his commitment to sustain already existing efforts in humanitarian interventions across the country.
A new dawn and a new mandate for the new helmsman, Dr. Bernard Doro, who assumes duty as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to fill the vacuum created with the appointment of Professor Nentawe Yilwadda as National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Expressing confidence in the new leadership, the humanitarian actors recommit to team spirit, accountability, trust, and loyalty in upholding the agenda of the present administration through collective efforts.
Mr. President want to renew the hope of Nigeria. This country, by statistics, I think we have something around over 60% multidimensionally poor people. I'm sure we can do better with the resources that we have as a country. And it is our job as Humanitarian Affairs Ministry and Poverty Reduction. We'll do this by ensuring that we are accountable one to another. We will achieve this when we work together in unity.
The ministry is undergoing, the country has seen a lot of natural and human-made disaster. And this has made many Nigerians to be displaced internally and without. And therefore, we must reposition this ministry to achieve the ambition of Mr. President.
With a renewed vigor to renew the hope of citizens in fulfilling its mandate, expectations are high towards new strategies to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NT News.
In other news, digital technology and innovation hold the key to increased productivity and economic prosperity. Chimdima Ondubisi reports that the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, at the Digital Nigeria International Conference and Exhibition says the federal government is prioritizing huge investments in digital technology infrastructure, especially the bridge project of installing 90,000 kilometers fiber optics for improved internet connectivity even in rural communities, the highest World Bank approved digital project globally, so that every corner of Nigeria will feel the impact of governance and economic growth through the use of digital technology. The federal government is also training citizens, especially youths, on how to navigate the digital space or use digital tools to create goods and services and solutions in agriculture, economy and education that will make life easier for the populace.
Success of our cashless reforms has positioned Nigeria as one of the most dynamic fintech ecosystems in the world. And now we are opening the next frontier. We are in the advanced stage of passing the national digital economy and e-governance bill into law. Every line of code written by our developers is a new export product. Every piece of intellectual property created by our brilliant minds is a new national asset. You, the innovators, are the engine that will drive Nigeria away from over-dependence on finite resources and towards an infinite one, which is human creativity.
We must make technology ubiquitous so that our farmers can also leverage this innovation to improve productivity. You can think of this in the education, in public health. And we know that with artificial intelligence, we now have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reimagine what is possible, from smarter governance, predictive healthcare, to agricultural optimization, and to infiltrate.
As these policymakers, innovators and investors gather is on how efforts will be sustained to secure the nation's digital future. Now to road safety, as the final months of the year are in sight, the hustle of heightened activities and the shakes seem higher than ever. Comfort Eye examines the impact of the ember months, the complex interplay between the economic forces that drives these increased activities and the pursuit of prosperity, which clashes with the realities of safety and security, creating a challenging environment for motorists and other road users.
Greetings from here. We are live on the street of Enugu, the coal city, and talking about the Yuletide road safety, a joint advisory for motorists and travelers. We all know that the ember month, September, October, November and December hold a unique place in the yearly calendar. They are a period of transition, a time when the year prepares to close and a sense of urgency permeates the air. This is not just a change in seasons, it is a shift in the mindset, a collective push towards the finish line. And the phrase itself, Ember Month, often evokes a mix of anticipation and apprehension. Historically, these months have been associated with a heightened activity. The Ember Months are a time when people strive to meet financial goals, drives individuals to work harder, seek new opportunities, and make extra effort. However, this increased activity is not without its challenges as people travel for business, holidays, and social gatherings. Roads also become congested. Tragically, this also leads to a rise in accidents like we witnessed in recent times. From what we gathered, key factors people are expecting to see and hear is the specific strategies in place to address the increased risk of a road accident during the Ember Month. What public awareness campaign are being implemented to educate drivers, motorists and travelers about road safety, monitoring, enforcement of traffic regulations during the Ember Month to reduce accidents. And lastly, what data and analysis are being used to identify and address the root causes of road accidents during this period, and how can citizens report traffic violations and violations or road hazard to the relevant authorities. Studios is back to you.
Thank you so much. Come forth. Leaders from the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, Pan-African stakeholders and global disability advocacy groups converged on Abuja for an engaging session to explore innovative ways to enhance leadership and ensure accessibility for persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Gufan Shajigwai tells us more.
Statistics indicate that 1 in every 5 persons in Africa lives with some form of disability or the other, placing Nigeria's data of persons with disabilities at 3.5 million.
Advancing the cause of persons with disability through inclusive governance.
This gathering of disability leaders speaks to issues of advocacy and how to strengthen coordination, collaboration, and strategic alignment among OPDs and other key stakeholders, as well as the need to drive the implementation of disability rights at both national and subnational levels.
We need to operationalize the Disability Act. We need to get the various departments of government to play the various roles they have to play to make sure that the Act is fully implemented.
We are really advocating for implementation of the National Policy on Albinism in Nigeria, which federal government drafted in 2019.
I'm hoping that people will be able to exchange best practices or good practices and compare how countries drive advocacy issue within the context of the work that they do.
Disability rights has become a global issue where we have regional and international human rights frameworks and laws which persons with disabilities need to know about so that they are able to advocate for their rights.
The meeting also underscores the ongoing commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind in Nigeria's pursuit of equity and inclusivity for persons with disabilities. In Abuja, Gufanshaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on NTA. Let's join Adeola in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Adeola. Let's join Adeola.
Yes, it's a yellow day, yeah. Precision is important for farmers in the era of climate change. Precision, as it will go a long way in reducing losses and food wastage. Experts say the key to achieving this lies in transformation of agriculture and food system using smart innovations and solutions. Panelists at the just concluded Lagos International Climate Change Summit 2025 emphasized the need for rigorous climate-smart initiatives to ensure impact and sustainability. Adejoke Odeka will tell us more.
The impacts of climate change have far-reaching consequences permeating every aspect of life. This was the highlight of the Day 2 breakout sessions at the Lagos International Climate Change Summit 2025. Key areas of focus during the sessions were transforming agriculture and food systems, building resilience for infrastructure and water.
We have the Produce for Lagos program. Produce for Lagos is not just about Lagos actors alone or outside of Lagos. It is all encapsulating because we know Lagos is a destination market for Nigeria. And so we have worked ardently to ensure that in reforming our market infrastructure and even in how markets are.
The way we used to do things in the past cannot stand, especially for farmers. Food wastage is something we cannot afford to accommodate in this era, and that is why climate smart agriculture is crucial.
Climate smart agriculture is using drip irrigation, which saves 70% of your water. Those things are smart ideas in agriculture, using mulch to reduce your weeding.
We have seen experts who have the capacity to help us to prepare machineries for the purpose of changing waste to wet.
Building on the momentum, an MOU was signed to address key challenges and forge new partnerships.
We're trying to scale up our efforts to divert waste away from the landfills and to build a new economy powered by waste.
Adopt clean energy sources like electric vehicles, solar on your rooftop, maybe a small wind turbine, right? And then you help the environment.
To drive progress for climate actions in Lagos, the charge is simple: implement sustainable and inclusive solutions and build climate resilience to create a more sustainable future for all. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Now to bilateral relations. The Republic of Germany is big in fostering economic relations with Nigeria as the biggest trading partner in Africa, aside South Africa. The new Consul General to Lagos, Daniel Kroll, made the statement while addressing the press about the consulate's fact sheet, especially plans to improve visa application time. The new Consul General in Lagos reiterated the commitment of the consulate to strengthen bilateral relations between Germany and Nigeria through creative and cultural exchange. The German consul said the major objective is to facilitate both countries' collaboration, first with speeding up visa application process. He noted that the German embassy processes 10,000 visas yearly, with plans to expand office capacity and double number of visa counters.
Second big focus, of course, of this consulate is on fostering economic relations. Nigeria is the biggest trading partner in West Africa, and only South Africa currently has a bigger trade exchange with Germany than Nigeria. So we still see that there is room for improvement, and that we hope to foster these economic relations.
Fact sheet between both countries revealed Germany's partnership in trade and investment, energy and climate, presidential power initiative, development cooperation, stabilization, humanitarian assistance, security sector cooperation, as well as culture and human rights.
I'm very optimistic that we will be able to get more IT companies from Germany interested. That is, these companies are always looking for IT talents, and I know Nigeria has many of these talents.
The Consul General also noted that in the near future, its government will include external service providers for specific visa categories, adding that currently a system is being set up where verification of documents for study purposes will be established. And those are the reports from Lagos Nationwide. Continues with Elizabeth in Abuja after this break.
Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Interior is proposing a comprehensive national policy on border security, including a review of the ECOWAS Free Movement Protocol, as panacea to a myriad of security challenges, particularly along the nation's land borders. At an interactive session on border security in the House of Representatives, speakers attributed the escalation of cross-border crimes to inadequate border security personnel and equipment, as well as the absence of multilateral border security framework between Nigeria and her neighbors.
And construction of barracks for officers and migrants holding shelter. There is need for us to develop a national policy on border security that clearly defines the roles of every relevant agency at the border. There is need to create a consistent funding framework for border security. There is need for us to institute measures for critical training and capacity building for immigration officers.
We recommend enhanced surveillance technology, focus on Sahel, and resource allocation. Adequate resources and personnel, that's increasing recruitment, must be allocated to critical border zones.
The goal is to identify vulnerabilities, operational shortcomings, and even compromised border officials. You must review how money is allocated to relevant agencies to protect our borders are spent.
To secure the sovereignty and ensuring the prosperity of our great nation.
The correspondent, Mitari Ikme, reports that the House adjourned plenary to Tuesday without entertaining any motion listed on the order paper. This was after a closed-door session. Now, what do you do when accidents happen? Do you stand there as a spectator with a camera, or you render assistance? The burning questions are the First Responders Emergency Conference in Abuja. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
Disasters and accidents such as road traffic crashes, building collapse often occur, and it is expected that rescue efforts begin at the scene, which can determine the extent of recovery and tragedy.
These could be neighbors, passers-by, or just ordinary citizens. They are the ones who run towards a burning building, a building that's collapsed. We must empower communities with skills, tools, and trust when every second counts.
This conference, therefore, is to bridge the gap between bystanders, first responders, and the hospital.
To ensure that every Nigerian, whether at home, at work, or in the marketplace, has the power to save a life.
Being able to train community people on how to intervene when there's an emergency.
So, when next you come across an accident, remember that emergency response is everyone's responsibility and every second counts. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
In a bid to enhance road safety and minimize road accidents in Bauchi State, the State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps organized a one-day capacity building for its special marshals so as to improve their performance in the discharge of their duties. Mariam Bala reports.
The one-day capacity building, which brought together key players in road safety and traffic management, aims to equip special marshals with the necessary skills and knowledge to discharge their duties effectively. With the theme enhancing security and strategies for special marshal operations, the training covered, among other areas, personnel safety while on the road.
We need to update ourselves, to be very, very current with what is happening, especially to reduce road accidents, and have, at the same time, educate our members on what they need to do so that they will effectively make sure that our modus of operation is going on well.
Speakers at the training spoke extensively on the challenge of traffic management in an increasingly complex environment and the need for all stakeholders to work as a team towards checking the loss of lives and property due to road accidents. In Bauchi, Mariamo Bala, NTA News.
Let's now join Mariamo to tell us more on efforts by stakeholders to reduce road accidents. Over to you, Mariamo.
Months from October to December, which is mostly characterized by increased movement on roads, especially people traveling for festivities. And most of the times, due to human factors, errors are being noticed on the road. We'd also discuss on what is being done to end road crashes this 2025. Assistant Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, the Zonal Commander of Zone 12, comprising of Bauchi, Yobe and Borno states, Mr. Yakubu Mohammed speaks on what is being done to see that roads or crashes on Nigerian roads are reduced this 2025.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has taken cognizance of all this and comes up with a very clear theme in anticipation of the ember months, which is take responsibility of your safety and stop distracted driving. So in this regards, it started with road shows, that's a rally, which will go around the town in all the states, that's comprising Bauchi, Yobe, and Borno state, which are under this zone. That was the beginning, followed by a town hall meeting which was done to conscientize and inform people of what is needed in regards to this. The special marshal were equally trained in this regards. So this is all in cognizance of what Ember Month's supposed to be. Then in addition to this, we are going around the parks, government institutions, and all other areas of the public to inform them of what is expected of them. More so, the maintenance of vehicles supposed to be paramount.
With the campaign put in place by the Federal Road Safety Corps Zone 12, which is based in Bauchi, it is hoped that Nigerian roads will be accident-free, especially these Yuletide and Ember months of 2025. It's back to studio.
Thank you, Mariamo, for the updates. Now, Nigeria's journey to price stability and sustained prosperity is gathering new momentum at the 2025 Central Bank of Nigeria Annual Executive Policy Seminar in Abuja. The spotlight fell on disinflation and economic growth acceleration. Beyond numbers, the forum highlighted strategies to sustain the gains of CBN's monetary reforms and strengthen investor confidence while stressing coordinated action, productivity-driven expansion, and policies that can transform ambition into measurable progress for Nigeria's economy. Musa Abubakar reports.
In this CBN building, economic minds converge once again, not just to talk numbers, but to chart the nation's future. It is the 2025 Central Bank of Nigeria Annual Executive Policy Seminar. Theme, deepening reforms, paths to disinflation and sustainable growth. With progress made on price stability and strengthening the financial sector, this year's seminar asks a defining question: how can Nigeria turn policy into progress and stability into sustained growth?
This esteemed forum serves as a strategic avenue for reflection, recalibration, and renewed commitment to our shared mission of guiding Nigeria's economy towards resilience, stability,
From taming inflation to strengthening the naira, the central bank's reform agenda is finding new pathways, powered by collaboration, fiscal discipline, and innovation.
What Nigeria needs at this stage is a unified national framework that integrates both monetary and fiscal levers to drive non-inflationary growth and structural transformation. Came together, the central bank and Ministry of Finance, to co-create and co-author a document that we call the Disinflation and Growth Acceleration Strategy.
Through effective monetary policy, transparent communication, robust foreign exchange market reforms, and strengthened regulatory oversight, the bank will continue to lay the foundation for macroeconomic resilience.
The forum is expected to come up with critical pathways that will consolidate on economic gains achieved. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Away from disinflation, Edo State is set to host the South-South Zonal Headquarters of the National Institute for Sports, a development Governor Monday Okpebolo describes as a major milestone for grassroots sports development in the region. This was his remarks when he received the Director General of the NIS and former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, and his team on a courtesy visit to the Government House, Benin City. Good luck, Inaini reports.
Sport serves as a unifying factor in a multilateral society like Nigeria, and it is in line with this that the federal government has carried out some restructuring to make the sector more result-oriented. The DG of the NIS and former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, is in Government House to convey the decision of the federal government to site the zonal headquarters of the NIS in Edo State.
Mr. Governor, we are here today to officially present a document to you making Edo State to host the South-South Zonal Office of the NIS. And the implication of it is that all the 6 states in South-South will be converging Edo for training of their coaches, for training of their manpower, for training of the elite athletes.
I want to congratulate the Edo people for the zonal office that is coming to Edo. Let me thank Mr. President once more for the bold decision for the Renew Hope agenda for the youth. It's really working.
He urged the NIS to take its programs down to the grassroots. In Benin, good luck in NTA News.
To education, regular performance review and ensuring accountability remain critical in sustaining the nation's efforts to keep adolescent girls in school and accelerate girls' education in Nigeria. This, the position of stakeholders as the Federal Ministry of Education convenes a meeting with 21 states to push for more support for implementation in other states. Zenred Dingmun reports.
The advocacy is growing stronger as stakeholders report an increase in enrollment of girls in schools following the introduction of conditional cash transfer and other incentives. And now, the mission is focused on financial efficiency and strict adherence to World Bank policies, monitoring and holding state project coordinators and technical specialists accountable for the various aspects of the project.
So we have also system strengthening, making sure that all other things are going on, and anything that has to do with girls' education, we try and make sure that like the gender policy, we make sure that every state has the gender policy on their decks.
Has helped me in improving my capacity, particularly in project management and in financial management also, and in procurement processes.
At strategic points and classes like P6 and JS3, girls are registered, and when they transit to JS1 and SS1, they are paid a certain amount, and when they meet 70% attendance in those classes, they are also paid timely fees.
And we need to get the balance right. So we're trying to make sure that everybody's aligned and moving forward in the direction to support the girl child.
State teams are to immediately submit their final no-objection budgets to the National Project Unit for consolidation and official endorsement by the World Bank. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
For more reports on Nationwide, let's head to Maiduguri, where Abubakar is standing by. Abubakar, nice to see you.
To Elizabeth, and thank you for joining us. The federal government of Nigeria is not resting on its oars in ensuring that the teeming youths of the country are gainfully engaged for sustainable development and prosperity of the country. Towards ensuring sustainability of its various skill acquisition programs for economic prosperity and self-reliance, a 6-month training on skill acquisition has been launched in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, through aid initiative to support vulnerable and unemployed persons, the report.
A significant proportion of youths across Borno State earlier applied for the training via portal, out of which only 30 persons comprising both males and females qualified, who are expected to be trained for 6 consecutive months. In an elaborate lecture, key drivers of the event told the trainees to consider themselves lucky for being opportuned to be part of the empowerment initiative and advised them to strictly adhere to all laid down guidelines towards ensuring optimal results at the end of the program.
This is a great initiative that has been brought by the Federal Ministry of Education, especially aligned with the Mr. President, Professor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for vocational skills training.
We like to appreciate the federal government of Nigeria, especially Mr. President Sir Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for bringing out this initiative.
Beneficiaries of the training are expected to acquire skills in fashion design and garment making, livestock farming, solar PV installation and maintenance, woodwork carpentry and joinery.
Always I'm eager to learn a skill, although I'm a graduate. So nowadays, to be a graduate is not enough. So you have to learn something.
We'll be diligent in doing all this because the training, the orientation we had just now, they encourage us to be diligent, let's be disciplined.
All the trainees are expected to provide mentorship in various institutions according to their areas of specialization and shall also be given starter packs and certificates upon completion of training.
From that now to tell you that Sheikh of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai Al-Amin El-Kenemi has commended the Nigerian Television Authority, NT Maiduguri Zonal Network Center, for its commitment to disseminating accurate and reliable information. He made this remark when he received the new zonal director, Mohammed Adam Ndirbita, and his management team during a courtesy visit to his palace. Here is Pauline Kujevana with the rest of the story.
As tradition demands, the second indigenous zonal director, Mohammed Adam Ndirbita, led his management team to pay their first homage to the royal father, seeking his blessings, guidance, and counsel. The Sheikh, who described Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, as a leading media organization in the country and praised its professionalism in delivering quality local and network news and programs. He encouraged his station to produce more local programs to promote the rich cultural heritage of the Borno people. The zonal director, Mohammed Adam Ndirbita, expressed gratitude for the Sheikh's support and assured him that NTA Maiduguri will continue to prioritize the interests of the people of Borno and beyond.
Being son of the Emirates, we come here for a royal blessings, and actually we express our sincere gratitude to the Royal Highness for granting us audience and then blessings, and they give us advice that will help us to do our work the way it should be.
Mohammed Adam Ndirbita joined the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in 1995, rose through the ranks to become Deputy Director of Engineering and was appointed Zonal Director in August 2025. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. Chika in Enugu has the next set of reports for us, but that will be right after this break.
Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu congratulates His Royal Highness Dr. Ibrahim Sulu Gambari and the Emir of Ilorin on the 30th anniversary of his ascension to the throne. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, recounts being a beneficiary of the Royal Father's boldness in dispensing justice during an agitation. The President salutes the Emir for his visionary leadership and commitment to the development of the city of Ilorin, highlighting the courage, integrity, sense of justice and fairness that have characterized his reign in the last 30 years, and wishes Emir Sulu Gambari good health and many more years on the throne. A bid from the court, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has again stopped the People's Democratic Party from proceeding with its planned national convention slated for November 15 and 16, 2025 in Ibadan. Justice Peter Lifu gave the order in a ruling on an ex parte motion filed by the former Jigawa State Governor, Sule Lamido. Sule Lamido, one of the founding members of the PDP, prayed the court for an interim order stopping the planned convention pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. Justice Peter Lifu, in a ruling, held that the application of the plaintiff has merit, succeeds, and consequently restrained the PDP from convening its planned national convention scheduled for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, pending the hearing and determination of their substantive suits. The court also restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from monitoring and recognizing the November 15 and 16 national conventions scheduled to hold in Ibadan, Oyo State, pending the hearing of the substantive suit filed by the plaintiff, which is pending before the court. The National Convention is meant to elect new national officers to steer the affairs of the party. In other news, the World Health Organization has donated modern facilities and learning tools to 2 nursing colleges in Enugu State. The initiative, which is in partnership with Foreign Common Health and Development Office, UK, is part of efforts to promote quality health services and strengthen Nigeria's health workforce. Chika Ogu reports that WHO representative and head of mission, Paso, also officially handed over the equipment to Enugu State government.
Committed to strengthening Nigeria's health system through strategic investments in medical education, training, and infrastructure, the World Health Organization is equipping key training institutions in the country with modern facilities and learning tools. Beneficiaries of this gesture in the state are the Enugu State College of Nursing, Pakli, and Ogu.
And commend the government and Enugu State's efforts, which are very visible, and they are expression of the bold and strategic leadership and investment in health system strengthening.
The governor, Dr. Peter Mba, said the initiative aligns with the state government's vision of promoting quality health care delivery, noting that the donation will go a long way to supporting the vision.
And the lab equipment you've provided, they are quite critical because it would actually help us. You may already have noticed that we upgraded our training schools to training colleges. With these tools and equipment we have, we're now able to increase our quota. We are also going to be complementing that with the construction of hostels.
The donation includes medical training equipment, ICT tools, generators, safety gears, vehicles, and furniture. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
In a major step towards building a digital, efficient and transparent public service system, the Federal Character Commission is training desk officers from ministries, departments and agencies on digital transmission of staff information to improving data integrity and accountability. Declaring open a 2-day workshop at the ICT Center of Nasarawa State University, Kefi, the acting chairman of the Federal Character Commission, Kayode Oladele, said the new digital system will enhance the Commission's ability to make informed decisions that promote equitable representation and fair distribution of resources across the country. Oladele emphasized that the training will equip desk officers across MDAs with technical skills to manage staff data efficiently, thereby reducing errors, delays, and bottlenecks in the submission of nominal roles.
And to promote equity, fairness, and inclusiveness in public appointments and representation, as well as equitable distribution of social amenities and infrastructure. But these noble goals depend entirely on accurate and credible data.
Also held a meeting with the Vice Chancellor of Nasarawa State University to discuss areas of collaboration. The National Inland Waterways Authority, Niger Kwara Area Office is stepping up efforts to promote safety on Nigeria's waterways, warning passengers and boat operators against night travels and traveling without life jackets. The campaign team includes members from the National Emergency Management Agency and the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA.
Increasing cases of passengers defying safety rules while using boat, despite repeated awareness efforts by the authority. At a sensitization program held at Zumba Waterfront in Niwa flagged off its 2025 sensitization campaign on safety of lives and properties on inland waterways regulations. And safe trip, zero tolerance to boat mishap, and themed no life jacket, no boarding. The exercise seeks to promote a culture of safety and prevent avoidable accident on waterways.
We have come here again today, bringing life jacket to ensure that this life jacket we are bringing today is stay at the waterfront, is not going to be distributed. Number one, organized stakeholders engagement meeting that was last month in Mina, and one of the recommendations that we should also intensify sensitization campaign.
The National Inland Waterways Authority says safety on the waterways remains a shared responsibility and insists that adherence to the no life jacket, no boarding policy is key to achieving zero tolerance to boat mishap. Musa Mikhail, NTA News.
And that report ends nationwide this evening. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good evening.